Below is a deeper dive into each chapter of Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, providing a comprehensive analysis of the key concepts, stories, practical applications, and underlying philosophy. Each chapter builds on the previous one, forming a step-by-step framework for achieving success through mental discipline, desire, and action. I'll include additional context, psychological insights, and connections to modern applications where relevant, while grounding the discussion in the provided document. Chapter 1. Introduction. Thoughts are powerful entities that, when combined with definiteness of purpose, persistence, and a burning desire, can be transmuted into material success. This chapter sets the stage for Hill's philosophy, emphasizing that success begins in the mind. Philosophical foundation. Hill introduces the idea that thoughts are things, a metaphysical concept suggesting that mental energy can influence physical reality. This aligns with early 20th century New Thought principles, which Hill adapts into a practical framework for wealth creation. He argues that thoughts, when infused with emotion and purpose, act like a magnet, attracting opportunities and resources. Edwin C. Barnes's story. Context. Barnes, a man of modest means, became obsessed with partnering with Thomas Edison, not merely working for him. His lack of money, education, or connections posed significant barriers, yet his desire was so intense that he risked humiliation by traveling to Edison's lab as a stowaway on a freight train. Psychological insight. Barnes's story illustrates the power of a definite major purpose, a term Hill uses to describe a singular, all-consuming goal. Psychologically, this aligns with modern goal-setting theories, e.g. Locke's goal-setting theory, where specific challenging goals drive motivation and focus. Barnes's willingness to stake his future on this goal reflects high self-efficacy and intrinsic motivation. Key moment. Edison noted Barnes's determination in his expression, not his words or appearance. This suggests that non-verbal cues of conviction can influence others, a principle relevant in leadership and persuasion. Outcome. Barnes's persistence paid off when he seized the opportunity to sell the Edison dictating machine, a device others dismissed. His success over 30 years demonstrates the compound effect of sustained effort toward a single goal. 3 feet from gold. Context. R.U. Darby's uncle discovered gold in Colorado, but quit drilling just 3 feet from a major vein due to a disappearing ore vein. A junk man, with expert advice, found the vein and extracted millions. Lesson. This story underscores the peril of quitting too soon, a common human tendency driven by loss aversion and frustration. Hill suggests that temporary defeat is a test of persistence, a concept echoed in modern resilience research, e.g., Angela Duckworth's work on grit. Application. Darby applied this lesson in his insurance career, refusing to accept no as final. This mirrors sales psychology, where persistence through rejection often leads to breakthroughs. A 50-cent lesson in persistence. Context. A young girl demanded 50 cents from Darby's uncle, refusing to leave despite his harsh commands. Her quiet resolve won, teaching Darby that persistence can overcome resistance. Insight. The girl's behavior reflects passive persistence, contrasting with Barnes's active pursuit. This suggests multiple paths to persistence, depending on context. Her success also highlights the power of emotional control under pressure. Broader implications. Hill uses these stories to illustrate that success is not about innate talent or resources, but mental attributes, desire, persistence, and faith. He positions failure as a teacher, aligning with modern growth mindset theories Carol Dweck, where setbacks are opportunities for learning. Practical application. Identify a definite major purpose and write it down to clarify your focus. Visualize achieving your goal daily to reinforce commitment. Treat setbacks as temporary, seeking expert advice or new perspectives before quitting. Practice persistence in small daily actions to build the habit. Takeaway. This chapter establishes that success begins with a mental blueprint, a clear, passionate desire backed by relentless persistence. It challenges readers to see obstacles as opportunities and to cultivate a mindset of unwavering commitment. Chapter 2. Desire. Desire is the starting point of all achievement, requiring a specific, burning obsession with a definite goal, not a mere wish. Definition of desire. Hill distinguishes desire from hope or wishful thinking. It's an emotional state so intense it becomes an obsession, driving action despite obstacles. This aligns with motivational psychology, where intrinsic motivation, passion for the goal itself, outperforms extrinsic rewards. 6 practical steps. Fix the exact amount, specifying a precise monetary goal, e.g., $1 million creates clarity and focus, reducing ambiguity. Modern neuroscience supports this, showing that specific goals activate the brain's reward system. Determine what you'll give. Success requires sacrifice, time, effort, or resources. This principle reflects reciprocity, ensuring you're prepared to pay the price for your goal. Set a definite date. Deadlines create urgency, countering procrastination. Behavioral economics highlights the power of time-bound goals in overcoming inertia. Create a definite plan. A plan translates desire into actionable steps, providing a roadmap. Hill emphasizes immediate action, aligning with the bias toward action in entrepreneurship. Write a statement. Writing crystallizes intent, engaging both conscious and subconscious minds. Reading it aloud twice daily reinforces neural pathways, a precursor to modern visualization techniques. Visualize with emotion, feeling the emotions of success, e.g., joy, pride, strengthens belief, leveraging the brain's emotional memory systems. Blair Hill's story, desire outwits Mother Nature. Context. Hill's son, Blair, was born without ears or hearing capacity, a severe physical limitation. Doctors predicted he'd be deaf and mute, but Hill refused to accept this, driven by a burning desire for Blair to hear and speak. Process. Hill used autosuggestion to instill faith in Blair, talking to him as if he could hear, exposing him to sound, e.g., music, voices, and encouraging speech. This reflects principles of neuroplasticity, where repeated stimulation can rewire the brain. Outcome. Blair developed partial hearing, later amplified by a hearing aid, and became a motivational speaker. His disability became an asset, inspiring others. This story illustrates how desire can defy natural limitations, a powerful metaphor for overcoming any obstacle. Psychological insight. Hill's approach with Blair shows the power of parental influence on a child's self-concept. By fostering belief, Hill shaped Blair's identity as capable, not disabled, aligning with self-fulfilling prophecy research. Connection to Barnes. Both Blair and Barnes demonstrate that desire, when definite and obsessive, can overcome seemingly insurmountable barriers. Physical Blair or socioeconomic Barnes. Critique and context. Hill's emphasis on desire can seem overly optimistic, but his examples grounded in real-world persistence. Critics note the risk of unrealistic expectations, but Hill counters this by stressing action and planning alongside desire. Practical application. Follow Hill's 6 steps precisely, writing a goal statement and reading it aloud daily. Identify personal sacrifices you're willing to make, e.g., less leisure time, learning new skills. Use visualization to feel success, engaging emotions like excitement or gratitude. Reflect on past desires you achieved through persistence to build confidence. Takeaway. Desire is the emotional fuel for success, but it must be specific, actionable, and reinforced through daily practice. It's not enough to want, you must obsess and act. Chapter 3. Faith. Faith, the visualization and belief in achieving one's desire, is the second step, transforming abstract goals into tangible reality. Nature of faith. Hill defines faith as a state of mind where you believe in your goal's attainment as if it's already achieved. It's not blind hope, but a cultivated belief, rooted in desire and reinforced through autosuggestion. This aligns with cognitive psychology, where belief shapes perception and behavior, e.g., placebo effect. Charles M. Schwab's story. Context. Schwab, a young associate of Andrew Carnegie, envisioned consolidating steel companies into the United States Steel Corporation. His faith in this idea, despite its scale, convinced Carnegie and J.P. Morgan, leading to a $600 million deal in 1901, equivalent to billions today. Process. Schwab's faith was evident in his confident presentation, detailed knowledge, and emotional conviction during a speech to investors. His belief infected others, illustrating the contagious nature of faith in leadership. Outcome. The deal made Schwab wealthy and revolutionized the steel industry. His success shows how faith can align resources and people toward a shared vision. Cultivating faith. Autosuggestion. Repeating affirmations programs the subconscious to accept a goal as reality. Hill suggests combining affirmations with visualization, a technique now validated in sports psychology for enhancing performance. Positive environment. Surrounding yourself with supportive people reinforces faith, while negativity erodes it. This reflects social influence theory, where peer groups shape beliefs. Emotional charge. Faith is strongest when infused with positive emotions, e.g., love, enthusiasm, which Hill ties to the subconscious mind's receptivity. Psychological mechanism. Faith reduces cognitive dissonance between current reality and desired outcomes, enabling action despite uncertainty. It's akin to Bandura's concept of self-efficacy, where belief in one's ability drives effort. Examples beyond Schwab. Hill references figures like Gandhi, whose faith in nonviolent resistance inspired a nation, showing faith's applicability beyond wealth. Challenges. Faith can be undermined by doubt, fear, or external criticism. Hill advises guarding the mind against negative influences, a principle echoed in modern mindfulness practices. Practical application. Write affirmations that state your goal as already achieved. E.g., I am earning $100,000 annually by date. Visualize success in vivid detail, engaging all senses twice daily. Limit exposure to naysayers and seek mentors or peers who reinforce your belief. Reflect on past successes to bolster confidence in your ability to achieve. Takeaway. Faith bridges the gap between desire and reality, requiring deliberate cultivation through autosuggestion, visualization, and a positive environment. It's the belief that powers action. Chapter 4. Autosuggestion. Autosuggestion, the deliberate use of self-directed affirmations to influence the subconscious mind, is the third step. Programming the mind for success. Mechanism. Autosuggestion involves repeating statements about your goal with emotion and belief, influencing the subconscious to accept them as true. The subconscious then guides behavior toward the goal, a process akin to self-hypnosis or modern NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. Subconscious power. Hill views the subconscious as a neutral force that acts on dominant thoughts, whether positive or negative. This aligns with cognitive science, where repeated thoughts strengthen neural pathways, shaping habits and perceptions. Practical process. Written statement. Use the 6-step desire statement from Chapter 2, specifying your goal, deadline, and plan. Repetition. Read it aloud twice daily, morning and night, with conviction. This repetition mimics habit formation, where consistency rewires the brain. Visualization and emotion. Picture yourself achieving the goal, feeling the associated emotions, e.g., pride, joy. Emotional intensity amplifies the subconscious's response, a principle supported by effective neuroscience. Examples: Hill references his son Blair, where autosuggestion talking to him as if he could hear shaped Blair's belief in his ability to hear, demonstrating the power of suggestion even on others. He cites salesmen who use autosuggestion to boost confidence before pitches, showing its practical application in high-stakes situations. Challenges: negative thoughts, often ingrained from past experiences, can counteract autosuggestion. Hill advises persistence, as reprogramming the subconscious takes time, especially if fear or doubt dominates. Connection to faith: autosuggestion is the tool for cultivating faith, making the two steps interdependent. Without belief, autosuggestion lacks impact. Without autosuggestion, faith remains abstract. Cultural context: written in 1937, Hill's ideas draw from early psychology and New Thought, predating modern cognitive behavioral therapy (CBT), which uses similar techniques to reframe negative beliefs. Practical application: craft a concise affirmation tied to your goal. E.g., I'm confidently building a $10,000 monthly income by date through specific action. Set a daily routine to read it aloud, ideally in a quiet space, visualizing success. Monitor your self-talk, replacing negative thoughts, e.g., I can't do this, with positive ones. Use a journal to track changes in mindset or behavior over weeks to reinforce commitment. Takeaway: autosuggestion is a disciplined practice to reprogram the subconscious, aligning your mind with your goals. It requires consistency, emotion, and vigilance against negativity. Chapter 5. Specialized knowledge. Specialized knowledge, organized and applied toward a definite purpose, is the fourth step, distinguishing it from general knowledge. Knowledge versus power. Hill argues that knowledge alone is inert. It becomes powerful when organized into a plan and directed toward a goal. This challenges the traditional view of education, emphasizing practical application over academic credentials. Henry Ford's example. Context: Ford, with little formal education, built an empire by leveraging specialized knowledge from his team, e.g., engineers, accountants. During a libel trial, when mocked for his lack of general knowledge, Ford retorted that he could summon experts for any fact, showcasing his mastery of accessing knowledge. Insight: Ford's success illustrates the power of delegation and collaboration, a principle central to modern team dynamics and organizational theory. Sources of specialized knowledge: personal experience, learning through trial and error, or formal training, e.g., courses, certifications. Collaboration, partnering with experts via a mastermind group or hiring consultants. Continuous learning, staying updated through books, seminars, or industry trends, reflecting lifelong learning principles. Grocery chain story. A man with an idea for a grocery chain lacked the expertise to execute it. He partnered with specialists who provided the operational knowledge, leading to a multi-million-dollar business. This highlights the entrepreneurial strategy of leveraging others' strengths. Application to careers. Hill advises acquiring specialized knowledge relevant to your industry, whether through self-study or mentorship. He also emphasizes selling your services effectively, using a professional brief to showcase expertise. Psychological angle. Specialized knowledge boosts self-confidence, reducing the fear of failure. It also aligns with the concept of deliberate practice, Erickson, where focused skill development leads to mastery. Critique. Hill's dismissal of general education may oversimplify its value, as broad knowledge can foster creativity and adaptability. However, his focus on practical expertise resonates in today's skill-based economy. Practical application. Identify the specific knowledge needed for your goal, e.g., digital marketing for an online business. Create a learning plan, including courses, books, or mentors. Join or form a mastermind group with complementary expertise. Regularly update your knowledge to stay competitive, tracking progress in a journal. Takeaway: specialized knowledge, when organized and applied, is a catalyst for success. Access it through learning, collaboration, and continuous growth, not just personal mastery. Chapter 6: Imagination. Imagination, the workshop of the mind, is the fifth step, generating ideas and plans to transform desire into reality. Types of imagination: synthetic imagination, combining existing ideas or concepts in novel ways. For example, Edison's phonograph built on known principles of sound recording, reconfigured innovatively. Creative imagination, receiving original ideas or hunches, often through intuition or inspiration. Hill suggests this occurs when the mind is stimulated by desire or faith, aligning with theories of divergent thinking. Examples: Coca-Cola, a pharmacist's formula, initially a modest invention, became a global brand through imaginative marketing and distribution. The sale of the recipe for $25 million underscores the value of ideas. Insurance innovation: an entrepreneur imagined selling insurance to African American communities, a neglected market, creating a multi-million-dollar business. This shows imagination's role in identifying untapped opportunities. Mechanism: imagination is strengthened by use like a muscle and weakened by neglect. Hill suggests stimulating it through desire, faith, and exposure to new stimuli, e.g., reading, brainstorming. This reflects modern creativity research, where diverse inputs enhance idea generation. Psychological insight: imagination bypasses logical constraints, enabling blue-sky thinking. It's linked to the brain's default mode network, active during daydreaming and problem-solving. Connection to other steps: imagination works with desire fuel, faith belief, and autosuggestion programming to generate actionable plans. Without imagination, desire remains abstract. Challenges: fear, doubt, or a rigid mindset can stifle imagination. Hill advises cultivating an open, curious mind, a principle echoed in mindfulness and design thinking. Practical application: set aside time for brainstorming, writing down all ideas without judgment. Expose yourself to new experiences, e.g., travel, art, diverse conversations, to spark creativity. Visualize your goal in detail, imagining multiple paths to achieve it. Act on hunches promptly, testing small ideas to build confidence in your imagination. Takeaway: imagination is the creative engine of success, turning abstract desires into concrete plans through synthetic and creative processes. It thrives on stimulation and practice. Chapter 7: Organized planning. Organized planning, the crystallization of desire into action, is the sixth step, requiring a clear strategy, adaptability, and leadership. Planning process: definite plan. Translate desire into specific, actionable steps with deadlines. This aligns with project management principles, emphasizing SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. Mastermind group: collaborate with allies who bring expertise and support. Hill's emphasis on harmony reflects team dynamics research, where trust and alignment enhance performance. Flexibility: plans may fail, but the goal remains. Revise strategies based on feedback, a principle akin to iterative design in startups. Leadership qualities. Positive attributes: Hill lists 11 qualities, including self-control, initiative, fairness, and a pleasing personality. These align with transformational leadership, where leaders inspire and empower others. Failures: he identifies 10 leadership pitfalls, like egotism, disloyalty, and lack of vision. These reflect derailment factors in modern leadership psychology, e.g., Hogan's dark side traits, selling personal services, Hill provides a detailed guide for career advancement, including choosing a passion-aligned job, creating a professional brief, a precursor to modern resumes, and delivering exceptional value. This reflects personal branding and value proposition strategies. Example: a young man secured a high-paying job by presenting a detailed brief to an employer, demonstrating preparation and confidence. Case study: Andrew Carnegie. Carnegie's steel empire relied on organized planning, delegating tasks to a mastermind group while maintaining a clear vision. His success shows how planning scales individual effort into systemic impact. Psychological angle: planning reduces anxiety by providing structure, aligning with cognitive load theory. It also fosters commitment, as written plans engage the brain's accountability mechanisms. Challenges: over-planning can lead to paralysis, while under-planning risks chaos. Hill advocates for action-oriented plans, tested and refined. Cultural context: in the Depression era, jobs were scarce, making Hill's advice on selling services empowering. His focus on planning offered structure in chaotic times. Modern application: project management tools like Trello or Asana embody organized planning. Entrepreneurs use lean startup methods to test and refine plans, mirroring Hill's advice. Practical steps: write a detailed plan with steps, deadlines, and resources needed. Form a mastermind group of 3 to 5 trusted allies, meeting weekly. Review and adjust the plan monthly, staying flexible but focused. For career goals, create a professional brief and network proactively. Takeaway: organized planning turns desire into reality through clear strategies and collaboration. Like Carnegie, success comes from orchestrating resources and adapting to challenges. Chapter 8: Decision. Decision, the mastery of procrastination, is the 7th step toward riches, requiring prompt, firm choices backed by commitment. Defining decision: successful people decide quickly and change their minds slowly, based on facts and intuition. Procrastination, driven by fear or indecision, is the enemy of success. Henry Ford's example. Context: Ford's decision to produce the Model T, despite criticism for its simplicity, revolutionized the auto industry. His refusal to waver, even when advisors urged change, led to mass production and affordability. Analysis: Ford's decisiveness reflects confidence in his vision, a trait of visionary leaders. His ability to ignore critics shows the importance of self-reliance, though Hill notes the risk of stubbornness without a mastermind's input. Modern application: Steve Jobs' decision to launch the iPhone, despite skepticism about smartphones, mirrors Ford's resolve. Decisiveness drives innovation. Declaration of Independence. Context: in 1776, the 56 signers risked execution by deciding to declare independence. Their unanimous, swift decision galvanized the revolution. Analysis: this historical example illustrates collective decisiveness under pressure. The signers' commitment, despite personal risk, shows how decisions shape destinies, aligning with Hill's view that indecision equals failure. Psychological insight: group dynamics amplified their resolve, a phenomenon studied in social psychology, e.g., group cohesion under threat. Challenges and solutions. Challenge: fear of criticism. Hill advises ignoring uninformed opinions, consulting only trusted allies. Challenge: over-analysis, paralysis by analysis. Decide with available facts, accepting that no decision is perfect. Solution: practice small decisions daily to build decisiveness, like choosing a workout routine promptly. Psychological insight: decisiveness reduces anxiety by resolving uncertainty. Per decision-making research, e.g., Daniel Kahneman's work on prospect theory. Hill's emphasis on commitment aligns with goal pursuit studies, where firm decisions increase follow-through. Cultural context. In the 1930s, economic uncertainty bred hesitation. Hill's call for decisiveness empowered readers to take control amidst chaos. Modern application. Agile methodologies in business emphasize quick decisions with iterative feedback, echoing Hill's advice. Leaders like Satya Nadella make bold calls, e.g., Microsoft's cloud pivot, to stay competitive. Practical steps. Gather facts, but set a deadline for deciding, e.g., 24 hours for small choices. Consult a mastermind group, but trust your judgment. Commit to decisions, avoiding second-guessing unless new evidence arises. Practice decisiveness in daily life, e.g., menu choices, scheduling. Takeaway. Decisiveness, as shown by Ford and the Founding Fathers, drives success by cutting through procrastination and fear. Prompt, committed choices shape your destiny. Chapter 9. Persistence. Persistence, the sustained effort to overcome obstacles, is the 8th step toward riches, turning desire into reality. Defining persistence. Persistence is the ability to keep going despite setbacks, fueled by a burning desire and reinforced by faith and autosuggestion. It's a habit, not a trait, and can be cultivated. Are you destiny's insurance success? Context. After the 3 feet from gold failure, he applied the lesson to insurance sales, becoming a top performer by refusing to accept no as final. Analysis. Darby's transformation shows that persistence is a learned response to failure. His mantra of not quitting reflects a shift in self-identity, from quitter to perseverant, aligning with modern self-concept theories, e.g. Carol Dweck's growth mindset. His success illustrates how persistence compounds small efforts into big results. Modern application. Sales professionals use persistence to close deals, like tech reps who follow up multiple times. It's also key in creative fields, where authors like J.K. Rowling faced rejections before success. Symptoms of weak persistence. Hill lists 16 signs, including lack of definite purpose, procrastination, fear of criticism, and failure to plan. These reflect psychological barriers like low self-efficacy or external locus of control. Overcoming them requires clarity of purpose, faith, and a supportive environment, e.g., mastermind group. Developing persistence. Definite purpose. A clear goal keeps you focused. Desire and faith. Emotional commitment sustains effort. Autosuggestion. Reinforce commitment with daily affirmations. Mastermind. Allies provide encouragement and accountability. Psychological insight. Persistence aligns with grit research. Angela Duckworth, where passion and perseverance predict long-term success more than talent. Hill's also tied to self-regulation, the ability to delay gratification. Walter Mischel's marshmallow test. Challenges and solutions. Challenge. Burnout from relentless effort. Hill suggests pacing effort and celebrating small wins. Challenge. Discouragement from setbacks. Reframe failures as learning opportunities, like Thomas Edison's 10,000 attempts at the light bulb. Solution. Build persistence through small, consistent habits, like daily progress toward a goal. Cultural context. In the Depression, persistence was a lifeline for survival. Hill's stories of ordinary people succeeding through effort inspired hope and agency. Modern application. Entrepreneurs like Sarah Blakely Spanks persisted through rejections to build empires. Habit tracking apps, e.g., Habitica, support persistence by gamifying small steps. Practical steps. Define your goal clearly to anchor persistence. Use affirmations to reinforce commitment, e.g., I will not quit. Track daily progress, celebrating milestones. Surround yourself with encouragers, avoiding naysayers. Takeaway. Persistence, as Darby's success shows, is the bridge between desire and achievement. Cultivated through habit and fueled by belief, it overcomes all obstacles. Chapter 20. Power of the Master Mind. Key theme: the master mind, a coordinated group effort driven by harmony, is the 9th step toward riches. Defining the mastermind. A mastermind is a group of 2 or more individuals who work in harmony toward a shared, definite purpose. It creates a third mind that amplifies ideas, energy, and results beyond individual capabilities. Hill sees it as both a practical collaboration and a mystical synergy, where collective thought generates unique insights. Andrew Carnegie's example. Context: Carnegie, despite limited personal expertise in steel production, assembled a team of experts who built his empire. His mastermind included engineers, managers, and financiers, compensating for his weaknesses. Analysis: Carnegie's success illustrates the principle of leverage, using others' strengths to achieve a goal. His emphasis on harmony ensured alignment, reducing conflict. This aligns with modern team-building theories, e.g. Tuckman's stages of group development, where cohesive teams outperform fragmented ones. Key insight: Carnegie's role was visionary and orchestrator, not technician, showing that leadership is about coordinating talent, not doing everything. Modern application: tech giants like Google rely on cross-functional teams, e.g. engineers, marketers, designers, to innovate, mirroring Carnegie's approach. Startup founders often form advisory boards to emulate a mastermind. Mechanisms: economic advantage: pooling knowledge reduces individual effort and accelerates results, as seen in Carnegie's rapid scaling of steel production. Psychic advantage: the group's collective energy stimulates creativity, producing ideas that no single mind could generate. Hill suggests a form of mental resonance, akin to brainstorming or collective intelligence in modern terms. Practical steps for forming a mastermind: select members with complementary skills and shared values, e.g. a business strategist, marketer, and financier for a startup. Ensure harmony through mutual respect and open communication. Meet regularly, weekly or bi-weekly, to discuss goals, plans, and progress. Foster a shared commitment to the vision, using group affirmations or rituals to build cohesion. Psychological insights: the mastermind taps into social facilitation theory, where group settings enhance individual motivation and performance. It also aligns with Vygotsky's social learning theory, where collaborative dialogue drives cognitive growth. The third mind concept prefigures modern ideas like emergent intelligence in systems thinking, e.g. swarm intelligence in AI. Challenges and solutions. Challenge: ego clashes disrupting harmony. Select members carefully, prioritizing emotional intelligence. Challenge: lack of access to experts. Start small, using online communities, e.g. mastermind.com or local mentors. Solution: establish clear roles and ground rules to maintain focus and respect. Cultural context: in the 1930s, individualism was rising, but Hill emphasized collaboration, reflecting the era's cooperative movements, e.g. unions, New Deal programs. His mystical framing appealed to spiritual seekers. Modern application: mastermind groups are popular in entrepreneurship, e.g. YPO, EO, and personal development, with virtual platforms enabling global alliances. Open source projects like Linux rely on collective effort, embodying mastermind principles. Practical steps: identify 3 to 5 individuals with skills relevant to your goal. Propose a mastermind group, outlining the shared vision and meeting structure. Hold weekly calls or meetings, focusing on brainstorming and accountability. Rotate leadership to keep engagement high and share a success story to inspire. Takeaway: the mastermind, as exemplified by Carnegie, multiplies individual potential through harmonious collaboration. A well-formed group provides wisdom, energy, and accountability, driving extraordinary results. Chapter 11. The Mystery of Power Transmutation. Transmutation, channeling the energy into creative pursuits, is the 10th step toward riches, fueling passion and productivity. Defining transmutation, Hill describes the energy as a primal, emotional force that, when redirected from non-physical expression to mental or creative work, enhances enthusiasm, imagination, and persistence. Transmutation is not suppression but transformation, like turning steam into mechanical power. Historical context. Why men seldom succeed before 40. Hill argues that younger individuals often dissipate the energy through physical indulgence, while maturity brings discipline to channel it into achievement. He cites figures like Napoleon and Edison, who peaked later, suggesting age brings clarity and control. Analysis. This view reflects early 20th century gender norms, focusing on men and assuming polygamous drives. Despite this, the principle of redirecting emotional energy is universal, applicable to all. Hill's emphasis on discipline aligns with modern emotional intelligence frameworks, e.g. Daniel Goleman, where self-regulation drives success. Mechanisms. Emotional fuel. The energy is a powerful motivator, amplifying other mental faculties like imagination and persistence when focused on goals. Love, as catalyst, a supportive, loving relationship, stimulates the energy, providing emotional drive. Hill cites examples of successful men inspired by partners, like Carnegie's wife. Discipline, overindulgence drains energy, so moderation is key, balanced with creative outlets like work or art. Examples. Hill suggests historical figures like Abraham Lincoln channeled the energy into leadership, turning personal passion into public service. The concept applies to artists like Beethoven, who transformed emotional turmoil into masterpieces, illustrating the energy's creative potential. Psychological insights. Transmutation aligns with Freud's concept of sublimation, where redirecting drives leads to socially productive outcomes. It also connects to flow psychology, Csikszentmihalyi, where intense focus on a task channels emotional energy into peak performance. Challenges and solutions. Challenge. Cultural taboos around discussing sexuality. Hill frames it scientifically, focusing on energy, making it accessible. Challenge. Lack of discipline. Use autosuggestion to focus energy on goals, like visualizing success. Solution. Cultivate healthy relationships and creative outlets, e.g. writing, exercise to channel energy constructively. Cultural context. In the 1930s, discussing sexuality was sensitive, so Hill's euphemistic approach transmutation made the idea palatable. His focus on male success reflected the era's norms, but the principle applies universally. Modern application. Athletes channel competitive energy into performance, like Serena Williams turning passion into precision. Entrepreneurs use emotional drive to fuel startups, as seen in Elon Musk's relentless work ethic. Practices like mindfulness or journaling can redirect emotional energy today. Practical steps. Identify a creative outlet for your goal, e.g., designing a product, writing a plan. Use autosuggestion to focus energy on work, visualizing success with passion. Maintain a balanced lifestyle, avoiding excesses that drain vitality. Seek a supportive partner or mentor to amplify emotional drive. Takeaway. Transmutation, as seen in historical figures, turns the energy into a powerhouse for achievement. Disciplined redirection fuels success. Chapter 12. The Subconscious Mind. The subconscious mind, the link between desire and reality, is the 11th step toward riches, acting on dominant thoughts. Defining the subconscious. The subconscious is a reservoir of thoughts, emotions, and beliefs that influences behavior unconsciously. It's like a computer's operating system, running programs based on input thoughts. Mechanisms. Dominant thoughts. The subconscious acts on the most frequent or emotionally charged thoughts, whether positive, e.g., I will succeed, or negative, e.g., I'm a failure. Autosuggestion. Deliberate input of positive thoughts via affirmations programs the subconscious, as seen in chapters 3 and 4. Emotional amplification. Positive emotions, desire, faith, love, strengthen constructive thoughts, while negative ones, fear, doubt, amplify destructive ones. Examples. Blair Hill. Repeated affirmations and exposure to sound programmed Blair's subconscious to develop hearing, showing how subconscious conditioning shapes outcomes. Negative example. Hill warns that fears, like poverty or ill health, can dominate the subconscious if unchecked, leading to self-fulfilling prophecies. Psychological insights. The subconscious aligns with modern neuroscience, where neural pathways form based on repeated stimuli. Hebb's rule, neurons that fire together wire together. It also connects to cognitive biases, like confirmation bias, where the mind seeks evidence for dominant beliefs, reinforcing success or failure. Challenges and solutions. Challenge. Negative conditioning from past experiences. Use persistent autosuggestion to overwrite old patterns. Challenge. Unconscious negative input, e.g., media, toxic people. Hill advises avoiding such influences, aligning with modern digital detox trends. Solution. Emotionalize positive thoughts daily to dominate the subconscious, like athletes visualizing victory. Cultural context. In the 1930s, psychology was emerging, and the subconscious was a fascinating concept. Hill's practical approach demystified it, making it a tool for the masses. Modern application. Therapists use guided imagery to reprogram the subconscious for confidence or healing. Entrepreneurs like Oprah Winfrey credit visualization for success, reflecting subconscious conditioning. Apps like Headspace offer guided affirmations, echoing Hill's advice. Practical steps. Write a positive affirmation tied to your goal. E.g., I am confidently building my business. Read it aloud twice daily, feeling the emotions of success. Avoid negative media or people, curating a positive mental environment. Visualize your goal for 5 to 10 minutes daily, reinforcing subconscious belief. Takeaway. The subconscious is a powerful ally, acting on dominant thoughts to shape reality. Deliberate positive input, as in Blair's case, drives success, while unchecked negativity breeds failure. Chapter 13. The Brain. The brain, a broadcasting and receiving station for thought, is the 12th step toward riches, enabling mental telepathy and intuition. Defining the brain's role, Hill posits that the brain transmits and receives thought vibrations, like a radio, facilitating intuition, hunches, and collaboration. This metaphysical view blends science and mysticism, suggesting thoughts are energy forms. Mechanisms. Transmission. Emotionally charged thoughts, e.g., desire, faith, are broadcast to others, influencing them unconsciously. This explains why passionate leaders inspire action. Reception. The brain picks up external thought vibrations, often as hunches or insights, especially when stimulated by a master mind or intense focus. Amplification. The energy, desire, or faith boost the brain's signal, enhancing intuition, as seen in creative breakthroughs. Examples. Hill cites anecdotal cases of synchronized ideas, like inventors independently developing similar technologies, suggesting thought transmission. The mastermind group acts as a collective broadcaster, amplifying signals, as in Carnegie's team generating steel innovations. Psychological insights. Hill's ideas prefigure mirror neuron research, where brains sync during social interactions, explaining empathy or group dynamics. The concept of hunches aligns with intuition studies, e.g., Malcolm Gladwell's Blink, where subconscious processing yields rapid insights. The metaphysical framing thought vibrations lacks empirical proof but resonates with quantum consciousness theories explored today. Challenges and solutions. Challenge: skepticism about mental telepathy. Hill focuses on practical outcomes, e.g., hunches leading to action, sidestepping scientific debate. Challenge: over-reliance on intuition. Balance hunches with facts and mastermind input. Solution: stimulate the brain with autosuggestion and collaboration to enhance intuitive insights. Cultural context. In the 1930s, radio was a new technology, making Hill's analogy accessible and compelling. His mystical tone appealed to spiritual seekers, blending science and faith. Modern application: brainstorming sessions in tech firms mimic the mastermind, sparking collective intuition. Meditation practices, e.g., transcendental meditation, aim to quiet the mind for insights, aligning with Hill's advice. Social media influencers broadcast ideas, influencing followers, reflecting thought transmission in a digital age. Practical steps. Practice daily autosuggestion to charge thoughts with emotion. Join a mastermind group to amplify intuitive insights. Meditate or journal to quiet the mind, receptive to hunches. Act on intuitive ideas quickly, testing them in small ways. Takeaway: the brain, as Hill envisions, connects us to universal intelligence, enabling intuitive breakthroughs. Stimulated by collaboration and emotion, it's a tool for success, as seen in Carnegie's innovations. Chapter 14. The Sixth Sense. The sixth sense, described as the door to the temple of wisdom, is the 13th step toward riches. It is an intuitive faculty that provides insights, hunches, and guidance through the subconscious mind, developed by mastering the previous 12 steps. Nature of the sixth sense. Hill portrays the sixth sense as a spiritual or metaphysical faculty that connects the individual to infinite intelligence, a universal source of wisdom. It manifests as intuition, sudden insights, or premonitions, guiding decisions when logic alone is insufficient. While Hill's language is mystical, the concept aligns with modern psychological research on intuition, which suggests the brain processes vast amounts of subconscious information to produce gut feelings, e.g., Kahneman's System 1 thinking. Hill's imaginary council. Context: Hill describes his practice of holding nightly council meetings with 9 historical figures, e.g., Abraham Lincoln, Ralph Waldo Emerson, Thomas Edison. He visualized these figures in vivid detail, imagining their personalities and seeking their advice on personal and professional challenges. Process: initially a deliberate exercise, these visualizations became so real that the figures seemed to offer independent insights, sometimes surprising Hill with their depth. For example, Lincoln once arrived late with a serious demeanor, reflecting Hill's subconscious concern about a global issue. Insight: this technique resembles guided visualization or role-playing, used in modern coaching to access inner wisdom. Psychologically, it leverages the subconscious mind's ability to synthesize knowledge and emotions, projecting them onto imagined advisors. It also reflects the power of personification and problem-solving, akin to what would mentor do. Exercises. Outcome: Hill credits these sessions with enhancing his intuition, character, and decision-making, illustrating how the sixth sense can be cultivated through disciplined imagination. Development process. Mastery of previous steps. The sixth sense emerges only after internalizing desire, faith, autosuggestion, specialized knowledge, imagination, organized planning, decision persistence, the mastermind, sex transmutation, the subconscious mind, and the brain's thought transmission. Each step strengthens the mind's alignment with its goals, clearing mental clutter for intuitive clarity. Meditation and faith. Hill emphasizes quiet reflection and belief in a higher intelligence, aligning with mindfulness practices that enhance intuitive awareness by reducing cognitive noise. Emotional attunement. The sixth sense is most active when positive emotions, e.g., faith, love, dominate, as negative ones, e.g., fear, block intuitive signals. Examples: Hill references inventors like Edison, who relied on hunches for breakthroughs, suggesting they tapped the sixth sense unconsciously. He cites personal experiences where warnings, e.g., avoiding a dangerous situation, came as intuitive flashes, illustrating the sixth sense's protective role. Psychological mechanism. Intuition arises from the subconscious processing of patterns and experiences, often faster than conscious reasoning. Neuroscience supports this, showing the prefrontal cortex integrates subtle cues into intuitive judgments. Hill's sixth sense can be seen as a heightened form of this process, amplified by mental discipline. Cultural context. Written in 1937, Hill's mystical framing reflects New Thought and spiritualist influences of the era, blending them with practical success principles. Modern readers may interpret the sixth sense secularly as expert intuition developed through experience. Challenges. The sixth sense is unreliable without practice, as random hunches can mislead. Hill advises testing insights against facts and aligning them with definite goals. Skepticism or fear also dampen intuition, requiring a receptive mindset. Connection to other steps. The sixth sense integrates all prior principles, acting as their culmination. For example, autosuggestion programs the subconscious, the master mind amplifies collective intuition, and faith opens the mind to universal wisdom. Critique. Hill's metaphysical claims, e.g., infinite intelligence, lack empirical grounding, potentially alienating rational readers. However, his emphasis on intuition as a decision-making tool remains practical, supported by studies on expert judgment, e.g., Gladwell's Blink. Practical applications. Practice daily meditation or quiet reflection to enhance subconscious awareness, noting any insights in a journal. Create your own imaginary council of admired figures, visualizing their advice on a specific challenge for 10 to 15 minutes nightly. Test intuitive hunches by acting on small ones, e.g., calling a contact, and tracking outcomes to build trust in your intuition. Maintain a positive emotional state through affirmations and supportive relationships to strengthen intuitive clarity. Reflect on past instances where intuition guided you correctly, reinforcing belief in your sixth sense. Takeaway. The sixth sense is a cultivated intuitive faculty that provides wisdom beyond logic, developed through mental discipline and alignment with Hill's principles. It acts as a guide for navigating complex decisions and opportunities. Chapter 15. How to Outwit the Six Ghosts of Fear. Overcoming the six basic fears, poverty, criticism, ill health, loss of love, old age, and death, is essential to clear the mind for success. This chapter addresses the psychological barriers that sabotage achievement, offering strategies to neutralize them. Overview of fear. Hill identifies fear as the primary obstacle to success, manifesting as indecision, doubt, and worry. He lists 6 universal fears, each with distinct symptoms and consequences, rooted in human survival instincts, but amplified by social and psychological factors. This aligns with modern psychology, where fear activates the amygdala, triggering fight-or-flight responses that can paralyze rational action. The 6 basic fears. Fear of poverty. Symptoms: indecision, worry, overcaution, procrastination, weak ambition, extravagance, to mask insecurity. Impact. This fear, prevalent during the Great Depression, Hill's context, erodes initiative and fosters a scarcity mindset. It leads to settling for less, avoiding risks, or overspending to appear successful. Example: Hill describes people who hoard money or refuse opportunities due to fear of financial loss, missing wealth-building chances. Psychological insight: fear of poverty reflects loss aversion, where potential losses loom larger than gains. Kahneman and Tversky's prospect theory. It also ties to social comparison, where financial status defines self-worth. Antidote: build financial confidence through definite goals, savings, and action-oriented plans. Autosuggestion can replace scarcity thoughts with abundance beliefs. Fear of criticism. Symptoms: self-consciousness, lack of poise, inferiority complex, conformity, lack of initiative, extravagant spending to impress. Impact: fear of others' opinions stifles individuality and ambition, leading to mediocrity. Hill notes: it's instilled early, e.g., parental or societal pressure, shaping lifelong habits. Example: a talented person avoids pursuing a dream due to fear of ridicule, choosing a safe but unfulfilling path. Psychological insight: this fear stems from social rejection sensitivity, rooted in evolutionary needs for group acceptance. It aligns with self-presentation theory, where people conform to avoid judgment. Antidote: develop self-confidence through autosuggestion, e.g., I am immune to criticism. Focus on your definite purpose and limit exposure to negative critics. Fear of ill health. Symptoms: hypochondria, self-coddling, intemperance, e.g., overeating, substance abuse, autosuggestion of illness, avoidance of exercise. Impact: obsession with health drains mental and physical energy, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy of illness. Hill notes the mind-body connection, where negative thoughts weaken immunity. Example: a person imagines symptoms after reading medical ads, reinforcing illness through subconscious suggestion. Psychological insight: this fear reflects health anxiety, amplified by cognitive biases like availability heuristic, overestimating risks from vivid examples. It's akin to nocebo effects, where negative expectations harm health. Antidote: cultivate positive health habits, e.g., exercise, balanced diet, use autosuggestion to affirm vitality, and avoid health-related fear-mongering media. Fear of loss of love. Symptoms: jealousy, fault-finding, gambling or spending to buy love, infidelity, insecurity. Impact: fear of losing romantic or social bonds leads to destructive behaviors, undermining relationships and self-esteem. Hill ties it to emotional dependency. Example: a jealous partner alienates their loved one through suspicion, fulfilling their own fear. Psychological insight: this fear relates to attachment theory, where anxious attachment drives clinginess or control. It also reflects fear of abandonment, a core human concern. Antidote: build self-love and confidence through autosuggestion, foster trust in relationships, and focus on personal growth to reduce dependency. Fear of old age. Symptoms: apologizing for age, reduced initiative, inferiority complex, dressing younger to deny aging, fear of poverty or dependence. Impact: fear of aging limits ambition and vitality, often prematurely. Hill notes: it's tied to societal devaluation of age, which discourages late life achievement. Example: a person retires early, assuming they're too old for new ventures, missing opportunities. Psychological insight: this fear reflects ageism internalization, where cultural stereotypes shape self-perception. It's linked to terror management theory, where aging reminds us of mortality. Antidote: embrace age as a phase of wisdom, pursue lifelong learning, and use autosuggestion to affirm vitality, e.g., I am capable at any age. Fear of death. Symptoms: obsessive thoughts about dying, lack of purpose, religious fanaticism, fear-driven inaction. Impact: fear of death paralyzes life's enjoyment and ambition, often fueled by uncertainty or religious dogma. Hill argues it's universal but manageable. Example: a person avoids risks or goals due to existential dread, living a half-life. Psychological insight: this fear aligns with existential psychology, where mortality awareness can either cripple or motivate Yalom's work. It's tied to cognitive dissonance between life's meaning and its end. Antidote: focus on living purposefully, use faith or philosophy to accept mortality, and channel energy into meaningful goals. Old Man Worry. Concept: worry is a byproduct of indecision, amplifying all fears. Hill describes it as a fog that clouds clarity, consuming mental energy. Example: a condemned man Hill interviewed faced death calmly after deciding to accept his fate, illustrating how decisiveness banishes worry. Conversely, indecision prolongs anxiety. Insight: worry reflects rumination, a cognitive loop linked to anxiety disorders. Modern CBT techniques, e.g. thought stopping, echo Hill's call for decisive action to break this cycle. Antidote: make firm decisions, use auto-suggestion to affirm control, and focus on present actions rather than future uncertainties. The Devil's Workshop. Concept: Hill introduces a seventh evil, susceptibility to negative influences, as a root cause of failure. This includes toxic people, negative media, or self-generated doubts that exploit fear-driven minds. Example: associating with pessimists can plant failure thoughts, as seen in people who abandon goals after discouragement. Insight: this reflects social contagion theory, where attitudes spread through networks. It also ties to environmental psychology, where surroundings shape mindset. Antidote: curate a positive environment, choose uplifting associates, and use auto-suggestion to reject negativity. Self-analysis checklist. Purpose: regular self-assessment uncovers hidden fears, enabling targeted improvement. It fosters self-awareness, a cornerstone of emotional intelligence. Example: answering, "Do you often feel self-pity?" might reveal a fear of criticism driving low self-esteem, prompting corrective action. 57 famous alibis. Hill lists common excuses for failure, e.g., if I had money, if I were younger, if I had connections. These alibis reflect fear-driven rationalizations, masking lack of desire or persistence. Example saying, "If I had time," often hides fear of failure or criticism, avoiding action. Insight: alibis align with self-handicapping, where people create excuses to protect ego Jones and burglars. Overcoming them requires taking responsibility, a principle central to locus of control theory. Antidote: replace alibis with action plans, using auto-suggestion to affirm capability, e.g., I create opportunities regardless of circumstances. Strategies to outwit fear. Willpower: exercise deliberate choice to reject fear, akin to cognitive reappraisal in CBT. Positive habits: build routines, e.g., daily affirmations exercise to counteract fear's grip, leveraging habit formation principles. Environment: surround yourself with positive influences, e.g., mastermind group, reducing fear triggers. Self-analysis: regularly assess fears using Hill's checklist, tracking progress to build confidence. Faith: cultivate belief in your ability and a higher purpose, reducing existential fears. Connection to other steps: fear blocks all prior steps, desire, faith, auto-suggestion, etc. by clouding the mind. Overcoming fear clears the path for their effective application, making this chapter the capstone of Hill's philosophy. Cultural context: post-Depression America was rife with fear, poverty, unemployment, making Hill's message urgent. His emphasis on mental control empowered readers to reclaim agency. Critique: Hill's fear taxonomy is insightful but oversimplified, ignoring complex psychological disorders, e.g., clinical anxiety. His solutions, while practical, may feel overly optimistic for deep-seated fears, requiring professional support in some cases. Practical applications: identify your dominant fear, e.g., poverty, criticism, and craft specific affirmations to counter it, e.g., I am financially secure through my efforts. Audit your social circle, distancing from negative influences and seeking positive mentors or peers. Practice decisiveness in daily life, e.g., choosing tasks promptly to reduce worry and build confidence. Journal instances where fear held you back, analyzing triggers, and planning alternative responses. Engage in physical activity or mindfulness to manage fear's physiological effects, e.g., racing heart, tension. Takeaway: the 6 fears are mental ghosts that sabotage success, but they can be outwitted through willpower, positive habits, self-analysis, and a supportive environment. Clearing fear unlocks the full potential of Hill's 13 steps.